This is a test of the emergency sheep suiting system. How quickly can I get an idea for an episode, get into a sheep suit, get the video set up, do the thing, and be done. There you go. That came out well, but then that's about as thoroughly as I have planned and rehearsed this. I have two sheep suits, at least. I have a certain variant that is identical between the two, except that one is light and one is dark. And I wore the dark one because of the light sources that my camera is subject to right now. That's really the only reason I switch between light and dark is for variety. So I had this fantastic idea when I was making a cup of coffee in this mug, and there's nothing really special about this particular mug except that I inherited it from my father, and I don't even know why he had it. He really wasn't into high quality coffee. This is the guy who lived to be 87 years old and was still drinking this stuff from cans that had been in stores for generations, because it never occurred to him that it might be better for him to drink better coffee. I mean, on rare occasion in my life, I've gone back to that stuff from the cans. I don't even know if I can't even find it anymore where I live, but I mean, it is like drinking poison. It's really terrible. But he drank that all his life. But for some reason, he had this old but pretty common Starbucks coffee mug, and now I'm enjoying a cup of coffee from it right now. And that is a story that my father told me many times when I was growing up. My father worked as a draftsman, an engineer draftsman, but he did most of his day was just drafting stuff, solving complex engineering problems on a big old drafting table in a really big room with other people doing the same thing. And one thing that he told me over and over, and well, the reason why he told it over and over is because it didn't matter if I had heard the story many, many times. My father just liked to talk often. He enjoyed telling the story. It didn't really matter if I had heard it many, many times. But it didn't even bother me to hear this one many times because it was funny. And he'd tell me how he was trying to draw some fantastic drawing, and somebody behind him would be going, ah, and he'd have to endure that like incessantly, and it drove him nuts. And that was back in, I don't know, the 1960s, 70s, early 80s. It's not like you had all these ways to just put on headphones and hook to some media source and drown out your surroundings and go into your private world. I mean, they probably had some music playing over a PA system maybe. And I just stopped to realize what people went through to build the world that we live in. Working conditions that I would never, ever want to tolerate. I was a software developer. That was my career. And I had a cubicle just like Dilbert, and I could have headphones. I could play CDs. I had a stack of CDs at work, and I'd put them in the CD drive and listen to music. And there were other things I could do through headphones and my little cube to just go into my own world. But my father really didn't have that. The kind of discipline somebody would have to continue to work in that kind of environment indefinitely, to make a living so he could pay for me to live. And I really don't have many good memories of my father. It was a pretty dysfunctional um, upbringing that I had. But I had a good memory, and I thought about it when I got out my father's Starbucks mug and made a cup of coffee in it. So, well, Dad, I can honestly say that I liked you a whole lot. I did love you as you were lovable, which sometimes wasn't much, but I did what I could. And this is for you. See, I did it without slurping. There you go. Until next time, keep the wool out of your eyes.